Thank you for joining me, and hello, everyone. This is Healing Room Tarot. Tonight, I will be talking to my air signs, specifically, talking to air signs tonight. This is not like my other readings, meaning this will be a time, it will not be timeless, but this one is time specific because tonight we are addressing what types of energies we must clear out as we begin the new year. As we begin the new year, we always set our intentions on doing new things, right? But we need to make sure that we are in the right energy to do those things, to set those things, to set ourselves apart, and to actually figure out and do the things that we need to do. So I do thank you for tuning in. And this is for if you have air signs anywhere in your chart. So whether in that is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. So I will go ahead and begin with our Geminis. And as I was meditating and getting prepared for tonight's space, I did hear Princess Toadstool for you Gemini, and I wanted to know what did the spirit mean. Clarify that. Spirit basically said, "Do not play the damsel in distress because you're not. You're weak. You're not weak. You're strong. Excuse me. Uh, do not get off the energy as if you're weak. Stop playing the victim. Go ahead and do what you're supposed to do." And of course, that can go for guy, woman, however you identify. Make sure you're not playing the victim card. You are stronger. You know what you need to do. And what's funny is this card right here is the visual that I got. So I am not surprised that it flipped out. That was actually my next word. Is that in this deck there's a card that has a woman in a red dress, and that is the exact card that I saw. Let me see if there is another. You have colorless angel as well. The first one was Queen of My World. So I'm going to read that, and that is number 24 and number 10. "24, Queen of My World." Excuse me. And it reads, "I set limits to my world. Inside I am queen and outside is lost." The visual seed. Unto a snowy background, white columns rise through the forest. A pale woman dressed in scarlet bright red, with a crown of thorns and a white luminous lens, strides forward, her posture confident and her feet bare. Sentence: I am my world and my world is me. I am royalty. Going dark. There is a space out and a space in. There is my realm and what is mine, and there are other places. I will not care if my world is made of thorn and ice, and if it's carved by my blood. My world is my world. I rule. I decide his borders, and I am law. I am princess. I am the blood in the veins of its heart. I am the warrior and the bride. I am alone, and I am the first among many. Be fearful of my world, because it's paved of my hopes and dreams, and you have no power there. I am greater than the stars and more beautiful than the moon. And the stage is bargain and the moon phase is full. And so with the message of toadstool and not playing the victim. Basically, it's you are being the opposite of this, which typically for this deck, this is the dark mirror, seeing the things that we don't want to see. But with this being the bargain card, it's you are bargaining off your power so that you don't have to work. It's almost giving me a lazy type of energy. It's also giving me that energy of I know what to do, but if someone else can do it for me, I will let them. I'm not going to stop them. And that's okay for certain times and periods in time, but you're in this energy a lot. It's almost that I want to be taken care of energy, and spirit is saying no. You are, if you're the queen of your world, you have to do it yourself, because what ends up happening is you will begin to forget who you are. You begin to forget your power and how much power you hold, and with it, spirit can't use you that way, right? Especially so in the spiritual world, everybody on this earth has something that an assignment, if you will, that spirit has for each of us to do. And if you are not in that place of taking leadership and ownership of things, you will not be able to fulfill that assignment. You will pass it off to someone else, and it's if it was meant for you, it means that there's somebody that spirit wants you to engage with and talk to, and by you not following your destiny's course, you are causing a chain reaction of events to happen, and more than likely it's nothing good. So let's read the other card, colorless angel. That is number 10. Moon phase is first quarter. Stage is denial. It is better not to feel rather than feeling pain. The visual seed. A dark horse prances proudly in the background, unnoticed by a man kneeling upon a pond. He wears a crown of myrrh, his face expressionless. Behind him, wings of smoke and bones grow or disappear. Sentence. Apathy is the crowned king of nothingness and the shining queen of whatever. Going dark. We can be Stegfried, the dragon slaying hero, but not when he slays the dragon, nor when he is betrayed and dies, but when he is simply doing nothing. We can be Michael the archangel while he waits bored and motionless, and St. George surprised in a moment of stillness and nothingness. All the strong rivers can become a swamp when they reach the plains, and the most yummy food can become gummy after a couple of hours, unattended on a table. There is a lot of darkness when we make the habit of going gray. We numb our senses with the fog of delays, and then we just get indifferent to the fog herself. I am here, we whisper. And if by very tiny chance someone notices and replies and asks who's there, we become shy and we stay silent a little more. You cannot be saved unless you face the dragon, and the dragon hurts. Of course it does. So, again, this goes along with what I was saying earlier. Spirit does not want you to be that damsel in distress. Spirit wants you to be this queen, this bold queen. This queen is in red. Red is a bold color, right? Red is that color that will stick out. It stands out. You can see on even on this tablecloth the hints of red. Yes, there's some orange, but there's hints of red, and it sticks out bolder than any other thing that you can see on the table. However, by you not doing anything, by you continuing to allow people to take care of you and you not taking care of yourself and you're not doing things for yourself, you're getting in this energy. Remember this energy of forgetting who you are. You're becoming that stale pale, right? Like the angel has its assignment to do. Remember, I said we each have our own assignments. The angels have their assignments, but if the angel does nothing, if the angel just sits there, those assignments get untouched. Those lives do not get touched the way they're supposed to, because there's certain things on this earth that you and only you can do. And by you not doing them, you cause chain reactions, you cause holdups, spiritual blockages in other people. And that's why it's very important for you to do what spirit tells you to do, and follow along with doing the things that you know that you can do. So for example, if you know you are to write a book, you can't say, oh, well, I'm going to get someone else to write it for me. No, there's certain aspects of the book where you can tell someone to write certain things, but without that context, they may write it in a different voice than how you're supposed to write it. Because the voice of that book is going to be the very voice that touches the hearts of some people to help them in their moment of need of this book. And so you cannot be this stale, this pale. So as I was reading the description of this card, it's giving me like a reverse star energy. The star, you have the lady whose one hand is reaching up and one hand is reaching down, and then one foot is in the water, one foot is in the earth. Well, for some tarot decks, that's how the card looks. Let me put it that way. Let me rephrase that. Um, but it's giving me that energy of, this is the reverse side, the dark side of that. If you're not reaching for, your destiny, and giving it back to the earth, what you're doing is you're taking from the earth. You're taking and taking and taking, and you're not giving. And that can also cause a staleness in your movement. So I'm going to read the spiritual AF card. So let's see. Ooh, this one wanted to jump out. There is one more. All right. So I am going to take these. Let's see. One, two, three, and four. Feel your effing feelings. Set a timer for 30 minutes and give yourself full permission to feel whatever it is you've been avoiding. Organize your sock drawer while you cry or seethe or get jiggy with some hardcore self-pity. Then, when the time is up, get off your A and do something constructive. Your big little sweetheart of a heart will thank you later. So this is an action card. It means if that is what is holding you up from doing what you're supposed to do, is some action, something that somebody did to you in the past, and you're still holding on to the pain. What spirit is telling you at this time is that now is the time to let it go. Now is the time to face it. You went through it. You did it. Yes, it hurt. It hurt like hell. It did. But now is the time you have to start working on getting that pain, getting that energy out of your system so that you can go on and do greater things with new people. Courage is knowing it might hurt and doing it anyway. Stupidity is the same. That's why life is hard. So again, even if it's hard, even if it's painful, Spirit is saying you have to do it. What is the difference between courage and stupidity in your life? A big part of adulting is not crossing the line where your rebelliousness turns into recklessness. The people who ride this line most gracefully usually have a clear eye on their values and a good friend or two who will tell them when they're being a dumb A. If you can't decide if you're being brave or stupid, call a friend. Hint, don't call a dumb A friend, though. So again, this is about movement and having the courage to move. Because this card fell out upside down, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the message, and then I'm going to read the instruction. There we go. What's the first thing you thought of when you read negative shit? Write that shit down. and take some space from it for a week. Then notice of what happens in your life. You'll probably really like the results. So again, this is a card of addressing the negative stuff, the bad things, the things that you refuse to see, the things that you are holding so deep in that you are not closing that chapter. You're allowing that chapter to write you instead of you write the chapter. And now I'm going to flip it over. Beautiful things happen when you distance yourself from negative shit. Beauty is about color. It's beautiful. Rise above your F headness. We're all F heads in our own way. The trick to winning at life is developing the ability to identify our own flavor of F headness and then rise above it. What one little thing can you do different ish and better ish today? You beautiful F head, you. So it's like you have to get out of your head because you're telling yourself, oh, everything's okay when things are not okay. And Spirit is saying right now in this moment, you have to push yourself through these things. Get out of your head so that you can change the course of your life. In this new year, you don't want to go into 2024 with things that happened in 1997. It's time for you to really let it go. Um, the first thing I heard was 1985. So if you are an older watcher or someone that was around in the 80s, know that if you're carrying something from 1985, it's time to let it go. It's almost 2024, right? Um, that would be 39 years worth of carrying pain, 39 years worth of carrying information and a memory that you should have let go a long time ago. And when I say let go of the memory, it means letting go of what it did to you. Because I know that we will always remember certain things, but we shouldn't remember those traumatic things to the point where they still affect us in our present moment. We have to grow through those things, and the only way to grow is to actually face them head on, having the courage to do that, having the courage to get out of our head, go through all the feels and process them. Because once we process them, we become beautiful things. We become beautiful creatures. Say beautiful things. Now let's get into the tarot and see what cards come out for you. Spirit, what is it that you would have our Geminis that are watching or that will watch tonight? Okay. I can't believe this. Oh, you actually have two cards. I thought it was one. Give me just a moment. So this is how they feel. You have the Fool card followed by the Nine of Wands. The Fool card is about releasing and letting go and letting Spirit guide you, letting Spirit catch you. The Nine of Wands is that energy of, you've been held back, you're looking at things, you're deciding it's time for me to move on. For some of you, you are in this energy of it's time for me to go on, but I don't know what I need to go on from. The Spirit is saying, what is that thing that's been haunting your memory? Something that you think about constantly, consistently, and you feel like, okay, when will things change? Things will change when you let that thought go. As you can see, she's behind this little gate here that's not even taller than her. Spirit is like some of the memories and the things that you're claiming is holding you back is literally this small. You can literally step over them and keep going. But you hold yourself back because you tell yourself that these problems are bigger than what they are. And you're fooling yourself. You're damaging your own walk here. And spirit is saying, no, just let it go. Let it go and let me be. Let me work with you. I want to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Nine of Pentacles. Happiness, prosperity, wisdom. Let me make sure that's okay. I thought this was an owl here, but it's still, it's still a white bird. White is peaceful, serenity. She has on white. Her hair, her hair is bundled up, right? It's like in the pigtails. They're tight, right? For her hair is free. Everything about freedom is prosperous. So spirit is telling you, as this new year it comes to be, start releasing those things, start dealing with those thoughts now, so that in 2024, even if you're still in the process of releasing, by February, March, you will even have a new perspective on life. Doors will start opening for you in February around or March, because you took the work, you took doing the work now in December. So that is your reading, Geminis. And I am now going to go to my Libras. You have Is This Me, number 4, and Bride in a Cage, number 21. Let's read number 4. Make sure there's nothing incriminating. It's not. Is this me? I cannot recognize myself, but I am still me. One phase is new stage acceptance. Visual seed. A dark fantasy female warrior with pale skin is enshrouded by a scanty spiked bikini armor. She holds a fanged bat hilted sword against a background of fire and ruin. Sentence: I cannot recognize myself, as I can't remember the road that led me here. How can I see the road ahead? Going dark. This card is not about an affirmation, but rather a question. Is this me? Can I recognize myself? Maybe yes, maybe no. But for sure, I lost the road I had once. The last time I stopped to really think about it. In my heart, I feel maybe like the high school girl that went to the prom, but truly, I am now 45 and I went thrice. I feel my true self as the kid that wanted to play soccer with the Real Madrid. All this while punching numbers on an Excel file out in an insurance office. It is not necessarily something negative as a dream lost or corrupted. I could see myself as love is the most important thing in my life. But actually, I have a very well-paid job that makes me travel. And I sleep alone in hotel rooms. When did we last look at ourselves in a mirror? Do we like where we are? Make no excuses, because the choices which made what we are our responsibility. If an old dream is dead, it's time to dream anew. If the old dream is alive, it's time to go back to it. So, ironically, when I was shuffling, I was hearing, do not tip the scales. Do not tip the scales, basically. And in the context of it, it was don't tip the scales in a way where it's self-sabotaging. Don't tip the scales to where you're doing much of one thing and not the other. The Libra sign is literally the sign of balance. And I got this at my other reading too that I did for you all on what, last week before last. And so this is, here it is again. It's, you got to stop tipping the scales. You have to find that balance in your life. And in this case, I feel like this is more of a career thing for some of you. So for some of you, if there is this, there was this passionate thing that you wanted to do, and you allowed other people, you allowed circumstance to navigate you away from what you truly wanted to do. And Spirit is now saying it's time for you to go back. Because a part of what, one thing a lot of people don't realize and recognize is that even in your career, it develops your identity. There's a difference between when you do something just because of the pay and when you do something because you have a passion for it. I've often had those discussions with people, because you can tell when someone is very passionate and compassionate about something, because the way they talk and the way they do things is different than when somebody is just doing the job. It's, you are doing the motions, but you're not there. And so people lose a piece of themselves, or they have a bad attitude for doing the job. And I have some friends that call them out. Well, you picked this career. Nobody asked you to do it. And that is true. Nobody asked you to do the job that you're doing, but you're doing it anyway. And so now you're mad because you're not doing what you would rather be doing. What is it that you would rather be doing? Only you have that question. And now, Bride in a Cage 21. Moon phases the waning crescent, stage denial. Tomorrow will be the right moment. Tomorrow will be better, even if today is hell. Visual seed. A gorgeous white wedding dress shines through the neon gray artificial light of the evening. It is worn by a mannequin with a disassociated skeleton head. It seems like a happy place, if not for the light. The mannequin stares at the outside while a purple laser geared cage holds it in. Sentence: did we die waiting for the perfect day, or were we never alive? Going dark. When we put the good of our life just in our expectations, we can dismiss the present, waiting for the dawn we know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart. It needs a bit of this, a bit of that, a few kilograms of that, and also a couple of boxes and boxes of another this. When we look at it, it shines like a brand new day in a commercial. And as it happens with commercials, when the future comes, it's not exactly perfect. The smile is forced. The day is too hot or too cold. The kiss is dry. The lion limps softly and doesn't roar. As long as something is not here, but is pushed further along the timeline, we have the luxury to take it off of reality and treat it as a fantasy. We push forward and we push forward until we actually catch up with our dream, and then we crush. The future should not feel like a cage, not even a gilded, wonderful, handmade designer cage. The future is a tree, gnarled rough to the touch, full of flowers only in spring, dense and camp through the rain, absolutely imperfect. So again, career. What is it that you really want to do? What is this right time that you see fit to do things? There isn't a right time. It's just the time to do. Either you do or you don't, right? That is the ultimatum that Spirit is saying. So for some of you, whatever that gift is that you have, and you said, "Oh, well, whenever I retire," when will you retire? There's a lot of things that's happening right now in society where people that have retired are now finding themselves having to go back to work even after they have retired. Why? Because that is the way the world has been set up for now, right? And for some of them, they're taking these meaningless jobs that they have no compassion for, and they're just doing the work, but they're just going through the motions, and they're not doing things that's passionate. And again, if they've already did the things that they were passionate about, why are they now having to do a job that they dislike in order to make ends meet? So whenever you start to do the job that holds passion, you begin to do things differently. You begin to see the value of it even outside of the work. You begin to even get into rooms that can help extend your resume, is what I'm hearing. You'll meet people that can help you set yourself up for the future. And you can only do that when you follow your heart, when you do the things that you're truly compassionate about. Because and for some people, I know that they say, "Oh, well, there isn't money in following your passions." That's not necessarily true. People say that, but if you go along with what Spirit tells you to do, you can live a life of happiness and prosperity. They're not two separate things, they're one and the same. And a lot of people are either prosperous, but they're not happy and have no joy, or they have a joy and they have no prosperity. And Spirit is saying it's time for people to stop separating that and actually learn how to conjoin the two together. It's almost like a Siamese twin. Whether you see one, you're obviously going to see the other. And Spirit wants you all to realize that you can have that dream job that you want. You can do that thing that you want, that thing that you're passionate about, and still not only be happy, but be prosperous as well. So in this new year, if you have not begun to draw out your business plan, start doing it now. Start seeing how you're able to get this business off the ground. Start studying people now that are doing the things that you wish to do. Maybe you can even graft that into what you're doing now that you really don't care for, to see how you can make that transition smoothly. It's all about strategy and strategically doing things. That's what Spirit did in the creation of this earth. Everything has been strategically placed on this earth for you to use. A lot of people disregard that, and because they don't really look at the spiritual side of the earth. They said, "Oh, this is the earth, this it's unlimited resources that I can use at my disposal." Yes and no. There's a thing that you can use it, but are you using that thing wisely? You can come into money, you can have a lot of money, but depending on how you use your money, how you spend your money, how you save your money, determines how long your money will last. And that is again what Spirit is saying. You have a plethora of resources available at your fingertips already. How can you use them, and how can you weave them into what you really want to do? Some of you, some of you have plans and dreams that you consistently have, and Spirit is saying now is the time to act upon them. Now is not the time to hold yourself back. Now is the time to be the air and fly and go up. Like you're Libra, you are an air sign. You're a sign of balance. Air is a balance type of energy anyway. Too much of it and you can go off balance. I'm thinking of a plane as I'm saying this. And Spirit is like, I can literally carry you through it all. I'm actually getting the full card again. We just got that card with Gemini, but I'm getting it for you. I'm seeing it, and it's like Spirit wants to carry you during this time, but you have to release your reins, release your hold uh, on Spirit, because you're not taking the chance to move. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the tarot before the other cards, uh, just to see what else comes out for our Libras. Okay, that card wanted to come out. Or these. Okay, let me see something here. I have all of these flip cards. I'm going to take them because whenever I shuffle these cards, I literally make sure that they were all upright and that they were all facing the same way. And so the fact that they are all out, I am going to take them. The first card we have is the Emperor. This is an Aries card. I do know that. And the Emperor is all about strategy. You see the chess piece. How are you going to use the strategic moments in your life to set yourself up? You have to, in order to build a building, the architect must first draft out the blueprint. And Spirit is saying, what is the blueprint that you're going to go in this next season? You haven't even drafted the blueprint. You know that you want the things to change, but you're not drafting up on what that change would look like, how it would change, what people you would like to include in this change. And Spirit is saying, now is the time to start drafting all of that up. I'm hearing dream board. That's something I'm actually getting ready to work on myself. And I know I had one as a teenager, and it was something that I used to post or had hanging on my closet door. So it was the first thing that I saw when I woke up. Excuse me. And it was the last thing that I would see right before I would close my eyes, because I would literally look at it every day. I would literally look at the quotes that I had written on it or cut out from different advertisements that stood out to me, and I would recite those things. And I just remember, getting that enjoyment that one day I will have this in my life, right? And it's like, in order to get the things that you're seeing, you have to. This is actually a scripture in the Bible. You have to write the vision and make it plain upon table, so that those that may see it and read it can understand it and run with it and help you make this dream come true. The next thing, the next card that came out was the Moon card. Let me put these in the order that I saw them. There we go. The next card is the Moon card. There's something that's hidden from you, or some things that you don't want to see. That's what I'm really getting, is there's some things that you really don't want to see. You're in this energy of, I'm just going to work, and it's just going to happen overnight. And Spirit is saying, no, it's not. You're not going to wake up, and it's not going to be, I'm hearing and seeing Freaky Friday. It's not going to be a Freaky Friday moment. You're not going to wake up and things are changed. You actually have to start doing the work. And then the next is the Nine of Swords. It's that energy of can't sleep, being at night. And some of you, literally, things are so bad for you right now that you literally can't go to sleep. Or when you start to go to sleep, you wake up. And it's like you're having these nightmares. And Spirit is like, I'm trying to get you out of this energy, but I need you to wake up. I need you to see the things that you're not doing so that you can start strategizing. The next card is the Five of Cups. And I'm hearing, stop looking in the past. You looking in the past of what happened and how things happened is how you got to this energy of, is this me? You're getting to the point where you don't even recognize yourself anymore, mainly because you're continuing to look at things on the past. and you're pouring all of your energy into dead things, you into to past memories, to dead memories, to things that can't prosper for you. And Spirit is saying, this person has another bowl here. And if you get fresh bowls, that's what I'm here. If you get fresh bowls, fresh dreams, fresh access to things, you can begin to pour yourself into those projects and watch how they become prosperous for you. The last card is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a balanced card. The High Priestess is balanced in every area of her life. Libra, again, you are the sign of balance. So once you start balancing every aspect of your life, how you communicate, how you work, your happiness, when you're able to express yourself in a way that is positive to you, and even hold on, let me. When all of this happens, you'll have new visions, which plays in your mental. You'll have new way of thinking, new way of talking, communicating again. But it'll be in such a way where you're like her. I'm at peace with everything, and everything comes to me. Then it will be that you wake up and it's magically there, but only because you started working towards your goals and putting things into place that will actually set you up, as they say, set you up for life. The secret to being a good human is learning not to take your shit out on others. So stop blaming other people for why you haven't done anything. You have to take responsibility. You have to accept the actions that you did to get into the space of you not knowing. You have to take ownership for your part in the plan. And it says learning to shut the F up is a life-changing skill. There's a time and a place to express your feelings, but that's usually after you've taken some deep breaths, maybe like a million of them. Once you figured out what the difference is between your and their, you and just okay, let me read it as it says. Once you figured out what the difference is between your shit, their shit, and just shit that happened, not every emotion deserves an action. Sometimes you just gotta feel shit, take a note, and let it move through you. If you're speaking when agitated or afraid, you're usually taking your shit out on others. Harming someone else will never make you feel better. It just fucking won't. So again, you're putting all these blames and excuses on other things, and it has you in this energy. Well, if this had happened, and if that person had did this thing, and if they did that thing, I would be in a better place. But because that didn't happen, I'm now in this space and time, and I'm now, trying to figure out the pieces of my life. And Spirit is saying, no, you have to take the time and plan. It's time for you to stop blaming other people for the things that you did not take action for in the past. I just heard one more card is coming out, and it came out, but it's on the floor. All right. So the next card that you get was "To thine own as be true." The most common thing that holds people back from health and happiness is an unwillingness to be honest with themselves. True story. It's been unscientifically proven. Owning who you are, what you struggle with, and where you want to be is the beginning of self love and freedom. Kind of like when Sir Mix-a-Lot finally admitted that he likes big butts and could not lie. His life blossomed after that. So, again, you know the things that happened in your life, the actions that you did not take, where you did not follow your dreams. You have those shoulda, coulda, woulda moments. And Spirit is saying, now you have to find those opportunities that will make up for your shoulda, coulda, woulda moments. For some of you, you're going to get other moments, but for some others, you're going to have to seek the opportunity now. Whereas Spirit would bring them to your door, you wouldn't go outside to look at it. I'm literally seeing like things coming about, like, say for instance, I don't know, you're at your mother's house or your father's house, your grandparents' house, and they ask you to check the mail, and you said, I don't feel like checking the mail, so you send somebody else out to do it. And so while you sending someone else out to do it, there's somebody that has a tag on their car or some kind of a, like the billboard things that people have on stickers and like stickers on the side of their car using advertisement. And it's like, that's the advertisement that you needed for your next dream, to spark an idea, to spark a career move. And because you did not take action, you missed it. You sent somebody else to do your job. It's almost the same energy as I got with Gemini. Maybe some of you have Gemini in your placements in your chart, and Spirit is saying, no, it's time for you to go out and find new moments because you missed the others. And this last card, when you are wrong, admit it. When you are right, be quiet. Just say yes to fessing up or shutting up as the situation warrants. You'll be all around way more likable to everyone, including yourself. If you need to, keep a list of all the times you were abso-fucking-lutely right. Just be sure you burn it before you die so you don't ruin the illusion for everyone. So, and this, I'm really getting that Spirit wants you to pay attention to when you are wrong and admit it. Because that's that blame energy. That's that, oh, well, somebody else did something else to me, so I didn't move. And it's like you're festering on the past. You're having these nightmares, and Spirit is like, I'm trying to get you out of that nightmare energy, but the only way you can get out of that nightmare energy is when you start to move and start to take action on your dreams. When you realize that people don't hold you back from your dreams unless you allow them to, then that means you were the primary suspect. You are the primary culprit in why your dreams did not happen, because you allowed someone else to deter you. You allowed someone else to talk you out of it. And Spirit is saying now it's time for you to admit that. It's time to admit that you were wrong in your decision makings at this time. And now, after you admit that you were wrong, it's now time to strategize how you will go and how you will move in this new season. So thank you, Libras, for tuning in. That is your message. And now we are going to go with our Aquarius. And I am hearing to start off with these cards. So let's see what comes out. This card is on. All right, so you have two cards. First one says, your brain speaks total fuckery unless you turn your soul on. Okay. A human brain left unattended doesn't shut down. It goes berserk with BS thoughts that turn into BS actions. Ego would do its job of judging, separating, and accumulating things to define who you are without any help from you. But the soul needs your attention to be heard over that loud A ego. There's a reason most truly successful people meditate, read inspiring books, focus on gratitude, and are of service to others in some way. It turns their soul on, and that makes them way better leaders, problem solvers, and functional humans. It also makes them way more fun to be around. Next card. It's okay to start the F over if you have to. Did you F up? Start over. Did things fall apart? Start over. Every day isn't a new beginning. Every moment is. Deep AF. I know, right? Quit holding on to old mistakes and shit. Just start the F over. So for some of you, you don't want to start over. It's almost giving me the same energy as Libra. You maybe you have Libra in your chart as well, but it's that energy of I don't want to start over, and you're going to be stubborn, and so you're just not going to. You know you need to start over, but you don't want to start over. So you're in your head, and you're allowing your head to take over. And spirit is like, no, now it's time for you to. Your brain is not functioning the way I need it to. It's not balanced. It's not being Libra-ish, right? You're operating out of order. And until you get things in order, you're going to continue to do the same things. So I need you to work on your central chakras, right? I'm still learning those, so don't get me too much. But it's you need to your heart chakra and your the chakra that is right over your belly, right? That's what I'm getting is like you need to work on those things, right? Because your heart isn't right. You're not balanced in yourself. And when your chakras are not aligned perfectly, if something's off, it's something off in you. And so right now, it's affecting your mental space because you're not balanced. Yeah, your heart is not communicating to your brain right now, basically, in energy wise. Let me say that because if your heart truly wasn't communicating to your brain, you may not be watching this video right now. But Spirit is saying, get out of your head and get into your soul. Uh, I'm hearing that this is the very complete opposite of what Virgo got. So Virgo got, you know, stop leaning too much onto spirit and lean onto yourself, where you're the backwards mirror for them. You're leaning too much on yourself and not leaning into spirit. And spirit is saying you're walking into error. You're doing things in a wrong way. Uh, let's see what else is going on here. What spirit has to say. Envious gluttony. Number 9. Okay, so my air signs are getting two cards tonight. Is this me? Number 4. So is this me? Are you really recognizing yourself? You are allowing things to overcrowd your brain and you're acting erratically, and you're not even to the point where you're not even recognizing yourself. You say things like, I normally don't do this. I don't know why I'm acting. I don't know why I lashed out at her today. I don't know why I spoke to him in that tone. I normally don't do these things, but I'm here. I am doing them. And it's because you are so unbalanced that your mind is crashing. That's what I'm hearing. You are literally crashing. So let me read that one first, because I'm really getting a lot out of this. You are crashing to the point where people are, they're staying away from you, but yet at the same time, there's people talking. And it's almost as if you're hearing the talks that are being said to you, and you are retaliating, is what I'm picking up in some sort of way. Is that petty energy. And spirit is saying, when you tap into spirit, you'll see from a higher perspective, and you will not want to retaliate. You'll do something different, and in that difference you will find change. So is this me? Moon phase is new, stage is acceptance. I cannot recognize myself, but I'm still me. Visual seed. A dark fantasy female warrior with pale skin is enshrouded by a scanty spiked bikini armor. She holds a fanged bat hilted sword against a background of fire and ruin. Sentence. I cannot recognize myself as I can't remember as I can't remember the road that led me here. How can I see the road ahead? Going dark. This card is not about an affirmation, but rather a question. Is this me? Can I recognize myself? Maybe yes, maybe no. But for sure, I lost the road I had once, the last time I stopped to really think about it. In my heart, I feel maybe like the high school girl that went to the prom, but truly I am now 45, and I went thrice. I feel my true self as the kid that wanted to play soccer with the Real Madrid. All this while punching numbers on an Excel file out in an insurance office. It is not necessarily something negative as a dream lost or corrupted. I could see myself as love is the most important thing in my life, but actually, I have a very well paid job that makes me travel, and I sleep alone in hotel rooms. When did we last look at ourselves in a mirror? Do we like what we are? Make no excuses, because the choice which made what we are our responsibility. If an old dream is dead, it's time to dream anew. If the old dream is alive, it's time to go back to it. So there are things that you tell yourself that it's okay to do this, and you have this excuse as to why you do those things. But your soul is screaming like, no, that is not what you do. This is not how we operate. And I need you to listen to me. I'm getting that the video is by TLC, Waterfalls. And it's that same energy of, like, what, wait, is this one? Wait. I'm wrong. It's not Waterfalls. It is Kelly Rowland's song, Stole. And it's that energy of someone trying to stop you, but you're not listening. You're gonna go. You're going about what your mind is telling you to do, to the point. Excuse me. You just going along with what your mind is telling you to do, and it's like your spirit is saying, "Don't go down that road." You You don't need to go down there because it's nothing but danger ahead, and you don't listen, and something happens, and because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. That type of energy. That's what I'm getting, and it's because it's too late. And for some of you, it's not too late, but you told yourself it's too late so much, um, that you're just like, I'm gonna just keep going down this road because it's what I'm used to, it's what I'm comfortable with. It's sustainable, right? And you're afraid to start over. And spirit is saying like, no, start over. So for now, um, let's read number 9, envious gluttony. Moon phase is the waxing gibbous. Stage is denial. Going to the edge of the ravine, savoring the idea of letting go all restraint. The visual seed. A man has rotting, sickly skin and yellow eyes. He dresses in tatters, and sticky blood runs down his chin. He has clawed feet and a crown of a skeleton alligator jaw. The upper part on his head, the lower part on his chest, like a gaping mouth. Sentence: there is hunger sleeping just under the surface, like an animal lurking. Going dark. This card is not just dark, it's unpleasant, sickly disgusting. The difference in the how we feel in front of a vampire as opposed in front of breathing bugs. It's not an existential darkness that we can paint of romance, drama, and subtle anguish. It is raw, primal, reeking of rotting stench. It feels like there is darkness, and in that black landscape, there is a hole leading to an even greater darkness, and that is calling. The urge is pressed down every time, played with, toyed with, treated like something that doesn't belong here. It's like rolling in the mud, bringing out the twisted, refreshing feeling of demeaning oneself. The key is that we don't want to recognize the depth of the envy and the anger. We casted it out of ourselves, and now it's truly a parasitic monster, impossible to accept as something that came out of ourselves. What if we bring light to the pitch dark well? What if the scary monster is just a scrawny star feeling? What if it's just a little thing? Dark as tar, indeed, but to be sorry of, not to be feared. So, Spirit is saying, whenever I was reading that card, the message that I got was more so of this is your heart space right now. You are in this energy of wanting to get someone back so much that your heart is literally, it's full of darkness. It's like that cold energy. That's what I'm getting. It's like cold and soup. It's like a fireplace, because your heart is like passion, right? Your passion, and it's similar to the fireplace in a house. It is the warmest place. It's the place where the communal things happen, where happiness surrounds. It is that space because it heats up the rest of the house. So everybody is naturally drawn to it. But it's like you have closed your heart off so much by just doing the things that your mind is telling you to do, that you have made your heart cold. The coals that was there have gumped up, and it's not allowing you to burn brightly. It's not allowing your heart space to be warm, and so therefore you're cold, you're bitter. So you're just speaking and speaking and speaking without thinking. And while you're speaking and speaking and speaking without thinking, I'm literally hearing that you are putting curses on your own self. You have to change your mind, because when you don't change your mind, when you don't think about positive things, when your mind latches onto things that are not prosperous, that's what you get. You don't prosper. You manifest, you are literally manifesting curses in yourself, and you're wondering why things are not looking like they should, why you can't get ahead, why your relationships fail, why it seems like your bank account can never grow. And it's because you're consistently talking negative things because you're not centering yourself. I'm hearing you're not grounding yourself enough, meaning you need to meditate, you need to pray, you need to have that special time with God, with your creator, with spirit. You need that time to commune and get divine guidance, because you trying to navigate this world alone is almost in that same energy as F God. I don't need God. I don't need spirit. And you do, because spirit is light. Spirit will guide you through darkness and through darkened times. Spirit will make sure that you have all your necessities, and will make sure that you have the things that you didn't even think that you needed. I'm kind of seeing MacGyver right now. If you don't know what that show is, please look it up. And I'm kind of telling my age, but that's another story. But anyway, what MacGyver was, he needed several things to get out of buildings, but this man would take things like, oh, I found a paperclip, oh, I found a string, oh, I found a latex glove, and somehow get out of a burning building with just those three random items. And every week, people were amazed that this, how did this guy get out of a burning building with those three items? And it's because you didn't think that you need those items, but spirit strategically placed those things there so that he could grab them, because he was, spirit knew that, okay, he's going to find these items. He's not going to know what to do with them, but I'm going to inspire him on how to use them to get out. And that's the same energy that spirit is trying to get you in. You may not necessarily understand the things that you will need, but spirit will. And spirit will give you that divine knowledge and understanding as to why these random things are placed in front of you, and how you can work with them to make doors open for you. It's the energy of how people say God made a way out of no way, right? You don't see a way out of it, but of course, God will see a way for you to get out of that thing, because God is the master plan. He has the master plan. He's the master planner, and so He knows that, if I send this envelope and this stamp and this pen and this paper to my child, right? My child's going to use those tools to write themselves into new spaces. They're going to write letters. They're going to write correspondences. They're going to write something that inspires people to read their work of art. And I'm going to dramatically change their life just by them understanding the process, just by them understanding that they're going to use the tools that I have provided them to get them out of themselves, to get them out of their situations that they don't think that they can get out of. But again, that means you have to tap in with spirit to get those divine instructions, and not lean not to your own understanding, but in always acknowledging Him. These are scripture. Okay, so Spirit said that you do not get cards, but I can look at the bottom of the deck, which is Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a celebration, but in that Three of Cups, it also is, it shows three women looking up into the stars, looking, which are divinely placed, right? I'm hearing and seeing, it's almost like in slavery times when the slaves had to look up at the stars to see how to reach north. It was They knew that if they looked into the stars that were strategically placed by God and spirit into the sky, they knew that if they could use that as a roadmap without having a roadmap, that it would lead them to freedom. And that is what spirit is saying to you. If you can understand that when you tap into me, I will show you things that you never seen before. I will be able to take you to places that you never even imagined that you could go to. This is a card of baby don't miss excuse me, a card. This is a reading of baby don't miss your blessing by being bullheaded. This is that get out of your ego. That's what the card said. What did the card say? Get out of your ego. When you get out of your ego and you let go and let God, God will do amazing things in your life. Spirit will take you, yes, in a whirlwind of things. And yes, it is not all good and dandy, but it will lead you on the right path for you. And know that not everybody can go with you on this road. Sometimes the road is lonely, but if you continue to do what you need to do, you will not be in this energy of how did I get here and why does my life look like that. You're going to be in the energy of I know exactly what's happening in my life and I know exactly where I'm heading. I know exactly which door is going to be my door when I see it, instead of you walking past all of the doors and say, I don't see the door that's right for me, and you miss out on your blessing. So this is, although this is an energy of this is what you have to do to prepare yourself for the new year. This is also a warning for some of you that if you don't do this, you're going to miss your blessing. So please take heed to these words on tonight, and don't miss your blessing. I cannot wait to see what happens for the Aquariuses. I'm going to start checking in with a lot of them to see like what's happening in their life. But thank you for tuning in, my air signs. Again, this is not a timeless reading. This is specifically for now until the new year. This is December 2023, and as we're preparing ourselves for 2024. So thank you all for tuning in, and you have a good night.